Have you ever stepped inside an old cathedral and felt something move within you? Not just awe at the towering stone arches or the reverence of stained glass glowing in the sun, but a subtle stirring, a quiet resonance, as if the very air was charged with something ancient, alive, watching. This is not mere imagination. For centuries, master builders, stonemasons, and mystics have whispered that these structures are not simply places of worship. They are instruments designed to capture, focus, and radiate invisible currents of energy. Energy that speaks not to the mind, but to the soul. Consider this. When you stand beneath the soaring vaults of Notre Dame in Paris, or inside the echoing nave of Chartres, you are surrounded by a geometry older than the church itself, a language written in stone and light. Every arch, every pillar, every window was placed with an intention hidden from common eyes. And if you knew how to read it, you would see the cathedral not as architecture, but as a living talisman. In this video, we will journey into the heart of that mystery. We will uncover the secret knowledge encoded in medieval design, knowledge drawn from sacred geometry, ancient philosophy, and a deep understanding of the Earth's own subtle forces. We'll ask questions the modern world has forgotten. Why do certain cathedrals make us feel uplifted and serene, while others leave us strangely restless? Why do their layouts mirror constellations and cosmic patterns? And most importantly, what happens when you align yourself with that hidden energy? By the end of this exploration, you will see these stone giants not as relics of the past, but as timeless devices, carefully tuned to awaken something dormant within you. Because perhaps the real treasure hidden in old cathedrals is not gold or relics, but a doorway into your own higher consciousness. To truly understand the hidden energy in old cathedrals, we must step back, not just a few centuries, but thousands of years, into a world where stone was not just a material, but a conduit for the divine. Long before the first Gothic arch rose above a medieval town square, the ancient world had already mastered the art of sacred construction. In Egypt, the Great Pyramids aligned perfectly with celestial points, serving as both tombs and cosmic resonators. In Greece, temples like the Parthenon were built according to the golden ratio, a mathematical harmony believed to mirror the proportions of the cosmos. And in the Celtic lands, stone circles like Stonehenge stood as silent witnesses to the understanding that the earth itself breathes energy that can be guided, focused, and magnified. Medieval master builders inherited this lineage. They were not merely craftsmen. They were initiates in a tradition blending architecture, astronomy, and mysticism. Much of their knowledge came through channels now considered unlikely: translations of Arabic texts, preserving Greek geometry, whispers from Druidic lore, and the esoteric symbolism of Christian mystics. Cathedrals became the Christian heirs to ancient temples, new vessels for the same old current. Philosophically, these cathedrals were built upon a vision of the universe, where God was not only in heaven, but also in the mathematics of creation itself. Think of Augustine's belief that numbers are the thoughts of God. For medieval thinkers, every proportion, every angle was a prayer, an echo of the divine mind. This is why the floor plans of great cathedrals often follow precise geometric patterns, such as the Vesica Piscis, two intersecting circles symbolizing the union of heaven and earth. Their rose windows, intricate and hypnotic, mirror the patterns of sacred geometry found in nature. The spirals of shells, the symmetry of flowers, the orbits of planets. And then there is the question of placement. Many cathedrals are built upon sites that were sacred long before Christianity, places where LeyLines, the supposed energetic pathways of the earth, intersect. Chartres Cathedral, for example, stands over an ancient Druidic well, and some say its crypt resonates with the same energy that once drew pagan pilgrims there. To the medieval mind, this was no coincidence. It was alignment. The cathedral was not simply built, it was tuned, much like a musical instrument, to catch the cosmic melody and let it flow through stone and glass into the hearts of all who entered. And here lies the philosophical core. A cathedral was never just a building. It was a bridge between worlds, between the mundane and the divine, between the seen and the unseen. Step inside and you crossed a threshold where your body remained on earth, but your spirit touched eternity. To understand how cathedrals channel and amplify hidden energy, we must begin with the principle of sacred geometry, the belief that certain mathematical ratios and patterns are not human inventions, but universal truths embedded in the fabric of reality. In this view, geometry is not merely a tool for measurement. It is a key to the cosmic order. Think of a cathedral as a vast three-dimensional mandala. Every angle, every curve, every proportion is part of an invisible equation that harmonizes with both human consciousness and the natural world. 1. The blueprint of the cosmos. The foundation of many Gothic cathedrals follows a series of geometric progressions: squares, triangles, pentagons, and the mystical vesica-piscis. These shapes are not chosen for aesthetics alone. Each form resonates with a particular frequency. The vesica-piscis, for example, represents creation, the intersection of two spheres, two worlds overlapping. Standing at the heart of a cathedral built on such a plan, you may feel a subtle balance between opposites: stillness and movement, darkness and light, earth and heaven. 2. Verticality as spiritual ascent. One of the most striking features of Gothic architecture is its vertical thrust. Pointed arches, ribbed vaults, and flying buttresses allow the walls to soar impossibly high, drawing the eye upward. But this is more than visual grandeur. It is energetic direction. Just as a lightning rod draws energy from the sky, the vertical lines of a cathedral seem to invite descent from above, channeling what some traditions call the celestial current into the space below. When sunlight filters through a rose window, it does not merely illuminate, it activates. Medieval builders knew that colored light could shift mood and consciousness. Blue glass, associated with the Virgin Mary, calms the spirit. Red stirs the heart. Gold reflects divine illumination. 3. Resonance and the sound of stone. Here is where science and mysticism meet. Stone is not inert, it vibrates. The density and composition of the stones used in cathedrals can amplify sound in unique ways. Gregorian chant, when sung in these spaces, is not simply heard, it fills the body, as if the building itself is singing back. In this way, sound waves interact with the geometry to create standing waves, patterns of vibration that can alter perception, slow the breath, and deepen meditative states. 4. The invisible grid, LeyLines. Many old cathedrals are built on what geomancers call power nodes, points where ley lines intersect. Ley lines are theorized as channels of electromagnetic energy running across the earth, akin to meridians in the human body. By placing a cathedral on such a node, builders align the sacred structure with the planet's own energetic anatomy, allowing a subtle current to pulse through its walls. The result? A visitor might enter feeling weary from the world outside, but after an hour within, they leave lighter, calmer, more attuned, without quite knowing why. In essence, a cathedral is a harmonic convergence of forces: the geometry of the heavens, the energy of the earth, the vibration of stone, and the transformation of light. All these elements are orchestrated to open the heart, quiet the mind, and perhaps awaken the soul. If the visible features of a cathedral, its arches, windows, and soaring towers, are like the notes of a song, then the hidden mechanisms are the harmonics you don't consciously hear, yet feel deeply. These subtler design elements are what give cathedrals their almost supernatural atmosphere. 5. The labyrinth as an inner map. Many great cathedrals like Chartres conceal a labyrinth in their floor, often invisible beneath rows of chairs. To a casual visitor, it's an architectural curiosity. To the initiate, it is a path of transformation. The labyrinth's winding route mirrors the twists and turns of the inner journey toward the divine. Walking it in meditation is not just symbolic. It engages the body in a rhythm that calms the nervous system and induces a state of heightened awareness. This physical movement across the cathedral floor subtly guides you through energy zones, each with its own resonance, culminating at the center, a point often aligned with the geometric or energetic nexus of the building. 6. Hidden ratios in light and shadow. The medieval builders knew how to choreograph the sun. Many cathedrals are oriented so that, on specific days of the year, Solstices, equinoxes, saints' feast days, the sunlight pierces a particular window or strikes a certain pillar. This is not just spectacle. It's a reminder of cosmic order, a way to synchronize the human heart with celestial cycles. In this way, time itself becomes part of the cathedral's energy system. The building is not static. It breathes with the seasons, awakening different aspects of its spirit at different times. 7. Symbolic guardians and thresholds, the gargoyles, grotesques, and sculpted saints that line cathedral entrances are more than decoration. In esoteric tradition, thresholds are places of power, liminal zones where the mundane world meets the sacred. Guardians at the door serve both as protectors, keeping out harmful influences, and as initiators, confronting the visitor with symbols of transformation before they enter the sacred space. Passing beneath these stone figures, whether you are aware or not, is a symbolic act of purification. You leave behind the noise of the outside world and step into a higher frequency of being. 8. The choir screen and acoustic focus. Some cathedrals feature intricate screens or partitions between the nave and the choir. While these are often interpreted as purely liturgical, they also serve as energetic filters, focusing sound and prayer like a lens focuses light. When chant or prayer is projected from the choir, it carries an amplified resonance, interacting with the vaulted ceilings to produce overtones that can induce states of awe or contemplation. In effect, the architecture shapes not just the physical space, but the inner space of the listener. 9. Alchemical symbolism in stone. Embedded in the carving, stained glass, and floor patterns of many cathedrals are symbols drawn from alchemy and Hermetic philosophy: serpents, chalices, suns, and moons. These are not random decorations, they are visual formulae hinting at transformation. The transmutation of the base human self into the refined spiritual self. Even if the average pilgrim could not consciously decode these signs, the imagery spoke to the subconscious, planting seeds that could bloom later in dreams, insights, or moments of clarity. At this deeper level, the cathedral reveals itself as something far beyond a religious monument. It is a multisensory, multidimensional chamber designed to engage the body, mind, and spirit simultaneously. It works subtly, often without the visitor realizing they are being tuned to a different state of awareness. The genius of the medieval builders was that they concealed this technology in plain sight, embedding it in beauty so compelling that no one thought to question the deeper purpose. You don't need to be a medieval mason or even stand beneath the spires of Chartres to connect with the hidden energy of old cathedrals. The principles that make these sacred spaces so powerful can be applied anywhere, if you know how to translate stone into practice, the geometry of your space. Sacred geometry works whether it's carved into a cathedral floor or arranged on your desk. Begin by introducing simple geometric forms into your environment. A circle for wholeness, a triangle for aspiration, a square for stability. You can draw these on paper, arrange them with objects, or even visualize them before meditation. The act of working within harmonious proportions subtly influences your mind toward balance and clarity, just as the cathedral floor plan shapes the experience of those who walk it. 2. Harness the power of light. In cathedrals, stained glass transforms sunlight into spiritual experience. In your own space, you can experiment with colored filters, fabrics, or crystals placed where sunlight passes through. Morning light filtered through blue can create a calm, contemplative mood. Golden light in the afternoon can inspire and energize. Pay attention to how different colors shift your state of mind, and use them intentionally, just as builders timed light to mark sacred moments. 3. Resonance and sound. If you've ever hummed inside a tiled bathroom, you know space changes sound. Cathedrals magnify this effect, creating deep resonance. You can replicate the principle by chanting, toning, or playing music in a room with reflective surfaces. Choose a simple tone like Om and sustain it, noticing how it interacts with the space. This is a microcosm of what Gregorian chant does in stone halls. It's not just sound, it's sound inhabiting space. 4. Walking the labyrinth anywhere. If you can't find a cathedral labyrinth, you can walk one mentally or physically improvise one outdoors. Mark a spiral or winding path with stones, leaves, or chalk. Walk slowly, matching your breath to your steps, allowing thoughts to rise and fall without attachment. This mimics the inner journey encoded into cathedral labyrinths, using movement to quiet the mind and align with deeper patterns. 5. Aligning with natural energy. Just as cathedrals were built on power nodes, you can tune yourself to the Earth's subtle currents by paying attention to location. Notice where you feel unexpectedly calm, energized, or inspired, whether in a park, near water, or under certain trees. Spend time there with intention. Your body is sensitive to these natural frequencies, and awareness turns them into tools for restoration and insight. 6. The threshold ritual. Every cathedral has a threshold, a symbolic crossing from the ordinary to the sacred. You can create a similar psychological shift at home. Choose a doorway or specific mat as your sacred entry. Before stepping across, pause, breathe deeply, and consciously release the mental clutter of the outside world. It's a small act, but it changes the way you inhabit your inner space. The point is not to mimic a cathedral exactly, but to adopt its underlying wisdom. Space shapes consciousness. Light changes the mind. Sound and movement open the heart. When you weave these elements together, even in a modest room, you create a living temple, tuned to awaken your own hidden energy.
Trong thế giới hiện đại, chúng ta thường nghĩ về các nhà thờ chính tọa như những tượng đài, những nhân chứng thầm lặng cho một đức tin và văn hóa trong quá khứ.
Too low. But if you follow this journey, you now see them for what they truly are. Living instruments, tuned to the geometry of the cosmos, the rhythms of the earth, and the resonance of the human soul. They were never meant to be admired, only for their beauty. They were meant to be entered, experienced, and allowed to work upon you. Every beam of light through stained glass, every note of chant, every step on a labyrinth floor was part of an ancient technology. One designed not to save your soul in the afterlife, but to awaken it now. And here's the secret the builders seem to understand. The cathedral is not only a place outside you, it is also a space within you. Your body is the nave, your breath the chant, your mind the stained glass through which the light of awareness shines. When you walk through life with intention, aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with harmony, you become a cathedral in motion. So the next time you step inside one of these stone giants, don't just look up in awe. Listen. Feel the geometry under your feet, the light on your skin, the hum in the air. Something is speaking there, and it's been waiting centuries for you to hear it. Because the hidden energy of old cathedrals is not bound to their walls. It is the same energy that moves through mountains and rivers, through the turning stars, through the chambers of your own heart. And once you learn to feel it, you carry it with you, everywhere.